For the audiobooks, the first I read was Born of Fire by Sherilyn Kenyon, which I think is the second novel in her series, the League series. And according to Goodreads, it says that I read this. However, I checked all of these out from the library, and when I looked at my library past checkouts, I have all of the books. I have like the first book and then the third book and the fourth book. I did not read this, and the story didn't sound familiar once I started listening to the audiobook. So yeah, I had to change that on Goodreads. I don't know how that happened, or maybe when I got Goodreads I just went through and did all of them because I had read around the series. And you don't really have to read this in order. It's no different than her Dark Hunter series. If you are reading that, you don't have to read them in order. Some of the characters do have cameos in some of the other stories, and they do give you a little of what has happened in their lives, maybe since their story or leading up to their story. But it's not so much about it that it spoils the story for you, because pretty much it's a paranormal romance. If you're familiar with Sherilyn Kenyon, they pretty much all end the same. It's the in-between that really gets you interested and keeps you reading. So but I read this, really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing on with this series because there are about 7 or 8 more that I need to read. And I like doing these on audiobooks. Some of her novels I like to read in print, but the League series and the Chronicles of Nyx series I've really enjoyed doing as an audiobook. So yeah, if you are just my suggestion, if you like audiobooks, I would not suggest reading her Dark Hunter series as an audiobook because there's so much to hold on to and to remember. But her League series, the Chronicles of Nyx series, and I'm totally spacing on what the third one is that I've read, that I've done as an audiobook. But these audiobooks are just really, really enjoyable, and it's nice to have, especially with the Chronicles of Nyx series, total tangent. It's nice to have a voice put with some of those characters that you've been reading about for so long if you're reading the Dark Hunter novels. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this, and it's a futuristic space travel espionage situation going on in all of these. This one follows the life of Sin, who is a fugitive on the run and has been accused of some grievous crimes, some horrible crimes that he has not committed, and a bounty hunter who is on the look for him and turns him in. So yeah, really good. Then I read as an audiobook Cinder by Marissa Meyer, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles series, which I enjoyed. The reason why I read this is because Crest, which is the third book in the series, is nominated as a YA book for the BookTube SFF Awards on the short list, which is not really short. And I hadn't read any of them, and Cinder has been on my TBR list for probably about 2 years. So I went ahead and got this as an audiobook. This I actually liked. This is a Playaway. I don't know if you all have ever seen this before. I'm going to show it to you in a second, as soon as I get it out. But it's this big, and it's all of the CDs that have been compressed into this audio file, and it's got the controls on the back to play, pause, whatever. As you're going through, turn the volume up, turn the volume down. All you need is a AAA battery and headphones. I really enjoyed this because it was much easier. I don't have Audible or Scribd or any of those ebook applications. So I could take this and put it in my pocket when I went walking, and I really enjoyed this way of doing an audiobook. This story I liked. There were some things in the story that got on my nerves. It annoys me. I think I said before, when phrases are repeated, it kind of reminds me of the Will and Grace episode where she gets contract to design a guy's house, and he tells her it's just like elitist asshole, and he tells her that he needs to come see her house and before he will agree to sign the contract. And she starts repeating everything that he says, and he says, don't do that. Don't stall by repeating everything that I say. I'm not stalling. Why would I stall to repeat everything that you say? Of course you need to see my house. How else will you know how? And it's repeating everything that he said, and that there are a couple of phrases that are repeated between characters, and there are some things that were just stretched out for longer than I think they needed to be. And I don't know if that just is the push for authors to have these long stories or these novels with huge page counts. I said that I think when I read An Ember in the Ashes that it could have been a lot shorter than it actually was, save for all of the blank pages. That aside, I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, and I will be continuing with the series because I want to read Cress for the SFF Awards. The next book I read was Graceling by Kristen Cashore, which is also a Playaway audiobook. And this was just the shit. This was a full cast audio production, meaning every character was voiced by someone different than the narrator. It was like a play on an audiobook, and I have not done a full cast audio production of a novel since I reread the Chronicles of Narnia series as an audiobook, and I think The Voyage of the Dawn Treader is a full cast audio production where and it's got music in it, and it was awesome. I was totally absorbed into the story, and the story was really, really good. I loved that there were no love triangles. But I went ahead and picked this up because I bought Fire last year from Ollie's without knowing that it was the second book in a trilogy. So I wanted to go ahead and read this so that I had the first story before reading the second story, which I don't think they are necessarily really connected. I will find out come Fire. I hope they are, because I want to know more about what happens with Katsa and Poe after this story. Okay, so I read 11 books in July. Totally forgot because I didn't put it in the stack. I also read Black Boy by Richard Wright, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I did not know that this was an autobiography when I picked it up. I just picked it up because I wanted to read some Richard Wright, and Denise made, over at Denise D. Cooper, link below, made July Richard Wright month for her reading objectives, and so I hopped on the opportunity to read some Richard Wright. So I did get through Black Boy. I picked up The Outsider and Native Son as well, but I didn't get to those this month. So they're more than likely going to be pushed to August, and we'll see what happens because I have a lot to do in August as well. So that is all I read for the month of July. Did I read anything that you read and liked or didn't like? Talk to me and let me know in the comments below. Are you interested in any of the books that I've read and you want more information? Let me know in the comments below. If this is done in 2 parts, then the links to the other parts of the video will be in the description box below for each part of the video. So yeah, if you're watching part 2 and I did it in 2 parts, part 1 will be in the description box below, and vice versa. And I hope you all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.